I used to actually volunteer and work for Actors Access, and I got to do a lot of casting. I volunteer a lot, so in that space, I volunteered with them for 3 years, and then they hired me on, and I actually got a chance to work the audio awards and CSA audio awards. And I met a lot of people and built a lot of genuine connections. I'm just helping them. I had to help them with, like, once they got the award, where to go next, and they just, it was a good,
So maybe volunteering for something that they might need, offering your service?
Very similarly, before going to grad school, I worked in casting in Atlanta. I started my career at Towne Street and then moved to do some stuff for George Peter, who did Fox and all of that. But that all started because when I graduated from undergrad, I reached out to Raven Drummer and asked could I be her reader.
Nice, being of service.
Kind of took off from there.
Yes.
I also have noticed too that like casting directors, they always need readers, right? Because
Always.
they always need people, right? Even though we're in this self-tape age, you have producer sessions, you need a reader and you need someone who is competent to be able to help the actors in the room. So that's always another way in as well.
Beautiful.
When I first moved out here, I got an internship working for a manager as his assistant, and then he hired me on as a paid assistant, which was great, but it meant I got to see all the breakdowns every single day and really understand, what it means to submit somebody and how much work goes into submitting somebody and how much follow-up and, even little things like I actually submitted myself for the very first job I ended up booking because I knew I was okay with partial nudity, so I was like, yeah, I'll submit myself for that.
Nice.
And I got it. I got the audition and then I booked the role, and it, even though it was through my manager, it also made me feel really good because I saw that and knew I could do that. And so it was a nice little kind of click, but and then also seeing the other side where, because he had such a vast array of actors who would be like, no, I don't want to do that audition, and I'd be like, what? Audition, just go with the fucking audition. And they did, because they were like, oh, I don't see myself as a grandma, or I'm not, I don't see myself, like, why am I getting that? And it's like, because the casting person obviously sees you, and like, and the manager sees you, that's why we submitted you,
Right.
So seeing that other side of it was really great.
Nice.
And then I got to meet casting directors through email and really got to know them, so that was good.
Very cool.
first booking, I utilized IMDb Pro.
Boom!
I did the
Big.
workshops and things that works as well, but you can't call them.
Right.
Unless you have the information and stuff. So a lot of times I'll get their email from IMDb Pro and then reach out that way with my materials, find out what they're casting, and then say, hey, submit myself that way, and I've gotten bookings that way.
IMDb Pro is a huge tool that we didn't have back then that is a wonderful tool right now.
I was thinking in terms of for actors who are writers, there are so many like HBO, WB Discovery. They have so many like incubator sort of like intensives or workshops like year round. And I'm barely now delving into writing and all that, so I'm trying to see maybe the next cycle. Because there's this person that I've been kind of keeping tabs on too, and because of her involvement with those kind of things, she's now doing her own things, and like she's moved up, and she's an actor, writer, producer.
Nice.
And a Latina too, so I'm kind of like noticing what's been working for folks that self-produce in this industry.
Yeah.
Like artists of color, and that seems to be like the main thing that I'm noticing right now. The incubator sort of things. So like HBO has them too, like everyone has them now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about the stealth follow? Okay, a show, Grey's Anatomy. Everybody's pointing at Shonda Rhimes. Everybody wants Shonda Rhimes' attention. Forget about Shonda Rhimes. She's never going to pay attention to you. If you go to IMDb Pro and you look at all the other writers on the show, they have 100 followers, 25 followers, 500 followers. I want you to focus on that second list where they cast people that, they're more likely to cast somebody like you. I want you to go to that IMDb Pro. I want you to look at everybody that's not a name, from the writers, the producers, those people. Follow those people. Don't hit them up for a direct audition. Just build a relationship with them slowly. They post something, comment on it. Say something smart. Don't come at them directly. Everybody wants attention on social media, and these people aren't getting it. Then every show that's on TV, their writer's room has an account. Follow that account and interact with it. Then you build a relationship with them, and then let's say you get a role in something else. You post the scene from that something else, tag them. Oh, that's the person that was so cool. And this is one way you can use social media. That's the equivalent of essentially what I did. Somebody also brought up workshops. When you follow these people, all of them are going to have a workshop, a thing that they're doing. They're going to be somewhere in public. You want to meet them in that scenario, in that situation. We have to get so crafty about building relationships with people, because what they stole from us when they took us out of the room was the ability to build a relationship with somebody. It's very hard to build a relationship with somebody who doesn't see you. You need them to see you. And so that's one of the ways that I think that we can make my story work for today. Anybody else have any other ideas? There's one timeless avenue that worked in the 80s and would work today, and nobody does it anymore. I heard 3 Oscar nominees say that they did this in order to secure a role at one point. What is that? And this way has existed since the 1500s and before. You could do the most old-fashioned thing in the world and write a letter. Nobody does it anymore. It would shock the living hell out of somebody. Okay. Yes?
You said write a letter to casting directors, or what do you mean?
Somebody who you might feel like you have, somebody who's looking for you, somebody who you feel a strong affinity towards, somebody that you really want to work with. You want to tell them why you want to work with them, what you saw of theirs that moved you, why you like their work. Those old school things people don't do anymore in this fast-paced world. If you can make a person feel seen, that's a part of building a relationship with them.
Okay. And you're definitely talking about pen to paper, not email.
Pen to paper is beautiful, but an email might not hurt either, but I think pen to paper might send a stronger statement.
Right.
Yeah, it's very old school and no one will see it coming. The reason why I wanted to start there is because everything that I'm going to talk about from here on out, there was a pattern in that story, right? It started with education. It started with me being in a visual and performing arts school, learning my craft. Then I used me to book the role. In that story, I got super lucky. Let's just be honest about it. That was pure luck that I got on The Cosby Show. I can't sit up here and say that it was me. But what I did know is that I was right for the role, that I could be right for the role, and I used me to book the role. That's the key to booking a series regular. We're going to talk about that a little further down the road. I used The Cosby Show to book my next job. So you gotta leverage one job into booking the next. In every job you book, there are the seeds of 10 other jobs. You just have to find it. And then you can also use that job to book the next job. And then what did I do after all of that was said and done? I got right back in school. I went right back to class because our work is the only leverage we really have. We are all, I promise you, I lie to you not, one moment away from the career we want. Just a single inspired, real, honest, interesting moment could change your whole life tomorrow if you can find it. But you cannot find it without the work. So we have to start with the work and finish with the work. We can never get too comfortable. I'm going to class after this. I always stay in class because I'm constantly evolving my technique. I don't ever want to be caught with my pants down. I want to constantly be working so that I know this is what I need to get to where I need to get to. That's why I thought it was super important for me to start with that story. Moving on, from theater school to my first series regular. Like I said, I graduated from theater school. I had no idea what I was doing in the world of TV and film. I graduated, I had an agent, I found a manager while I was in theater school. A buddy of mine who had a manager, I asked him to invite his manager to see me in A Raisin in the Sun. I was playing Walter Lee. He saw me, he signed me. Great. He couldn't find me an agent because I essentially had no resume and my credits were getting cold. I volunteered to be an actor in a directing for actors class at USC Cinema School. I volunteered. The teacher of the class, who was an actress, introduced me to her agent. I got signed. Graduated from theater school. I went out for a year. I didn't book shit. I was very demoralized. I had to get out of my apartment on Monday. I had an audition for a musical on Saturday. They said, can you be on a plane on Monday? I said, I have to be on a plane on Monday. I went and did the tour, came back. I had a little more confidence. Now I'm starting to book co-stars. I'm starting to book guest stars. Okay, now I'm starting to find a rhythm. I met a working actor and started hanging out with him. And I always felt like if I could see it, I could be it. If there was somebody in my life who was doing what I wanted to do, it would show me that it was possible. And that was absolutely the case. But he wasn't a series regular either. So here I am booking co-stars, booking guest stars, really happy and grateful that I'm working. But I really wanted to be a series regular. I would go in for series regulars and I wouldn't even get called back. I knew that there was something that I was doing wrong. So I said to the universe, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what it is. Please help me. A friend who was in Summers in Suffolk, the show that I did here at Towne Street, and some people say 90% of your work will come from your friends, but another actor in the production said to me, oh, there's this new workshop opening up called the Actors Gym. You should take it. Michael Beach and Eric LaSalle are teaching it. And I was like, oh my God, the universe answered my question. I think that this could be the place for me. I went to the workshop and it was brutal. They were the most harsh teachers I've ever had in my entire life. And a lot of people didn't last in this class. They would eviscerate people. Now, that's not a good thing. But I was so in need that I stuck it out. They gave me a scene from Danny and the Deep Blue Sea. If you're familiar with that play at all, the character, the main male character, is sidebar. When I first started auditioning, they wanted every black guy to be a thug. All of the roles were for a thug. But I was the guy from The Cosby Show. So that's not really registering. So I was going out for auditions, but I wasn't a thug. So I wasn't booking them, right? So I had decided that I cannot play roles like that. I am this educated, refined guy, and I just have to ignore thug roles. But now I'm in the Actors Gym, and they give me a character that is beyond a thug. This character is a Neanderthal. This character is so animalistic. I mean, this is beyond a thug, like I said. I got up to do the scene, and I applied the technique that I understood at that time, and it was terrible. And Mike said to me, I gave you a caged animal, and you turned him into a pussy psychologist. And I was broken, I was hurt, I didn't know what to do anymore, and he was trying to reach me. He was trying to say, what makes you feel like this? What makes you feel like that? What gets you to the place where you're this? What gets you to the place like that? And I was like, I don't know. And then he told a lie on me in front of the entire room. A lie that was so humiliating that I said, I never said that. And he goes, you didn't call me and say X, Y, and Z. And I said, no, I never said that. Mind you, I'm in a room full of my peers. And he goes, are you calling me a liar? And I said, yes, I'm calling you a fucking liar because I never said that. And then he goes, put that in the scene. And that was my breakthrough. So, a few months later, I have an audition to play this streetwise, homeless vampire hunter, rough around the edges, you know, violent character. And I was so excited to bring this new piece that they introduced me to the role. Because in the past, I was gonna play it like I thought it needed to be played, you know what I mean? As a thug. But no, instead, I brought that part of me that gets passionate and is so moved by injustice. So I get this thing about vampire hunter, and I'm like, oh, okay, the vampires are racist. The vampires are bigots, because that's what drives me crazy. Okay, great, yep, I know what I'm doing here. And then right before I came into the audition, though, it wasn't really landing because it was 4 pages of me just going, I hate you, Angel. Angel, you're a jerk. Angel, I hate you. I'm never gonna work with you. Angel, you're the worst. And I was like, I can't find the engine to get through the scene because it's the same note. And right before I walked into the audition, I heard the voice of Meryl Streep. And I was watching the episode of Inside the Actor Studio where she said, always examine the opposite of what your character is saying. And I was like, oh, fuck, I actually do want to work with Angel. Oh, shit. I'm pretending like I don't because I'm a homeless street youth. What must have happened to me where I don't trust authority figures? Oh, shit. I need him to prove to me that I can trust him. So I'm going to push him away for him to come closer. That's the work of a series regular. Co-star, guest star, play it on the nose. Play it just as it's written. Series regular, I need you to bring you. I need you to bring all of you. The parts that you hide, the parts that you don't think are right for the part, the things that make you uncomfortable. That's the difference, and that's the truth of the work that you need to bring. So, the moral of that story is that while I had been to theater school and while I had taken a few acting classes here and there, they introduced me to a way of working that excited me. If you're not excited about the way that you work, then your work might not be exciting. So my question for you today, and we're not going to say the answers out loud, is, are you excited about the way that you work? When you get an audition, can you not wait to try your thing? Can you not wait to explore yourself, to find the parts that you're going to use for this? Can you not wait to read it and see where you end and the piece begins? If you're not excited about the way that you're working, your only job right now is to find it. We said that earlier. There are all these acting classes. Some of them for you are going to be a complete waste of time. There are people out there who say that the Actors Gym, the one that I talk about, was abusive and horrible and degrading. And so that's what it was for them. But for me, it was the right piece. And that's the thing about acting. It's like so individual.